Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I'm here to build on Model Kit and to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. We are currently at 36 out of 50 subscribers. The goal is 50. I shut up at 50. We are currently at 36, which is still not too damn shabby, if I do say so myself. Appreciate it very much. So if you want to become a subscriber, if you want to gift a sub to someone in the community, now's a great time to do that. And you can also do it so that we see it and we can all thank you. Throw the notes in the chat. It's Monday, and I hope a few more friends decide to join us. If not, that's okay. Would love it. But if we are small and mighty, that is fine. Small yet mighty. That'll be okay. I am forcing myself to have energy because I don't have a lot of it right today because I was busy. Today was a busy day. I had a project outside in the heat. It is late spring here. Sun's shining, beating down on me. But I also wanted to have layers on, which is terrible because I was cleaning and getting rid of pollen on our porch. How do I describe this thing? We call it the bottle tree. It looks like a wooden tree trunk with all of these dowels that come out of it, and then you slide wine bottles onto it, and all the wine bottles are blue. And it looks really fun, and we put Christmas lights on it, and it can be very festive and cute. And it's lovely, except down here in South Carolina, the pollen comes in like February, and pollen just sticks to glass. And I've covered it, and it hasn't helped because it's such a big, bulky thing. So every year when spring is kind of like, when the pollen season is pretty much at its end, I have to take all 118 bottles, we counted. 118 bottles have to come off of it, and then I have to clean every bottle. Usually I use glass cleaner because that's the easiest. And then I have to put all the bottles back onto the tree. And I took an allergy pill. Hey, Lord Crashing. I took an allergy pill today, and then I also was wearing a mask while I did it, and I had gloves on. And I still can feel it. My pollen allergy basically sucks all the energy out of my body. I just want to nap. And I have like nothing. I discovered my pollen allergy had developed and grass, but pollen and grass allergy, because one spring I mowed the front and side and backyard of my parents' place. And then I went and sat down and slept for 4 hours. And suddenly was just like, oh, what happened? And then so I went and got tested to find out that I was now allergic to pollen and grass. So that's fun. So that was kind of my day, and I had a bunch of other things to do as well. But that was a lot of my day. We'll keep talking about this stuff. Why don't we go to the overhead camera here? Ba-boom. This is the Dreadnought. If you have not watched my streams in a little bit, you have not seen that I've been working on the Dreadnought Gundam X Astray. This is a kit from 2004. It is a pretty fun kit. It takes panel lines. Looks really nice with some markers. It's got a big backpack, rockets, and then it's got a bigger backpack, weapons that we haven't assembled yet. Today's stream, we are going to build the shield. We are going to build the gun. We are going to build the side, like, cables that come off the side skirts, because these are weapons. So those get attached. And then also the funnels that go onto the backpack. And the rocket thing that goes on top of that have to go on there as well. This kit has some stickers that we're going to be applying. We have 4 more stickers left to apply to our funnels on the back. And then also there are some special stickers. Now, you might think, because of this coloring and the fact that they're separate from the other stickers, that these are water slide decals or decals. They're not. These are just stickers. They are regular stickers. They are just quote unquote special stickers. They were trying that at the time. They don't look as good as water slides, but they're way easier to apply. So we're going to apply all of those as well. One goes on a shoulder, one goes on the shield, I believe. I can't remember. I gotta look at it, look at the photos. Does that even fit on the shield? That doesn't fit on the shield. Okay, the shield is... I don't know where that Z goes, because they're like... This is supposed to be like yellow, gold, but it's not, so... But then they show you, oh yeah, you put it like that. It's like, no, that's not what I want. I don't know where that Z is supposed to go. Oh, it goes, oh, it's, okay, I use one or the other. One of these two stickers here goes on a shoulder, and I can choose which one. Which is great, because if we fuck up the first one, we can just do the second one. But let's build the shield, let's build the gun, and then if we hit, by the end of the stream, finish up this kit and there's plenty of time left, we'll move on to a Lego set, which I'll show you very briefly right here. This is the Retro Roller Derby 3-in-1. Or sorry, Roller Skate 3-in-1. It's not Derby. It's the Retro Roller Skate 3-in-1, where we will build a boombox, a skateboard, and one roller skate. And if you think that this should have had 2 roller skates, I agree with you. I guess I could buy a second kit if I wanted 2 roller skates. But it's still pretty cool. There we go. Okay, so let's build the shield. We got parts of the shield already. I snipped out after the last, or during the last stream, so we got that going. We'll pop that there so you can see the kit. But let's finish this kit up, and then we can get into a Lego set. Now, I had a poll going for my $10 patrons over on patreon.com/PatBear. I had a poll going for them to decide what I was going to work on next. We decided to go with Lego. And I said, well, I actually have some stuff coming in the mail, but my backlog is a little light right now, but I'll be adding some things to the backlog soon. One of the things came in the mail today. The Gundam Maxter showed up from G Gundam. It came out last year for Premium Bandai, and I did not pick it up because at the time I did not have available funds to pick up such an item, so I did not do it. But then late last year, the second run of it came out, and I said, well, this is my chance to get the kit that I really want. So I did pick it up then, and I'm glad I did. And so, yeah, that's there. So in the future, I will build the boxing, football, the All-American Gundam. I'll be building that. Much like I built the Rose Gundam. Very excited about that. Do I want them to make more? Yes. I don't care about the Russian Gundam or the Canadian Gundam. The Gundam that I would like I would like the Dragon Gundam. I would like to build Neo China's Dragon Gundam because that's a great design. But even then, I will say, because I assume they're going to make them. I'm going to assume they're going to make everything in the suits. The one I actually want is, I would love a new high grade of the Master Gundam because that shit fucking rules. So give me a new Master Gundam high grade. And the other thing that I would want would be the Nobel Gundam. Give me a good priced high grade of the Nobel. I would love that. Give me my Sailor Scout mobile suit. That would be fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, that would look so good. I'd love to build that. A new high grade of that would be great. Be rad as hell. Because the old one's fine, but it could be better with newer technology, newer printing, all of that. So that's kind of my wish, more than any of the other ones. But I don't necessarily think we're going to get any of those. So if I was a painter, I would be masking this and I would be painting this symbol here gold because that's what it's supposed to be. But because we don't have that option, I am just hitting it with some gray to kind of make it pop a little bit more than it would. And I'm hitting everything else with gray as well. Going to panel line this here with the gray on the white. And it's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to hit it with the old eraser to clean up everything. Make it look nice and sharp here. We are going to do, I'm going to do a photo with all of the weapons on here first, and then I will do a photo, then I will build the backpack component. So we'll get the shield on here. We'll do a gun and a shield. So there's the shield. Kind of work this out to get it there. Yeah, because I want to be able to see it. Oops. Just knocked over one of the rockets. Oh no, the rockets. I want to be able to see the shield on this kit. And maybe that's I'm asking too much. There we go. That's kind of what I want. Great. That's close enough. I just want to be able to see it in the photograph. You know what I mean? As far as I can tell, this kit is not, I can't put this kit on a stand. There's no slot on the bottom of this for a stand. There's no slot on the back of this for the stand. There might be on the, when I complete this part, I'll look real quick. As far as, no, yeah, this doesn't have it either. Yeah, as far as I can tell, this is not, there's no way to put this on a stand without like tape or glue, I guess. And that's very strange. That's very odd to me that this kit just does not want a, to be on a stand. That's odd. Yeah, just feels weird to me. Oh, did I forget to put those on? I did, didn't I? Turns out there's a piece that goes on this backpack that I didn't put on. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. There's a piece here on the backpack that I didn't do, which we'll do now, because why not? I missed a step, but it was hard to notice I missed it because it was the backpack step. Because I was like, oh, all I have left on this is the gun. And I looked at it again. I went, nope, I'm wrong. There are other pieces to go on here. All right, let's get into it. In our ongoing pursuit of keeping up with one of the dumbest men out there doing his thing in the world, we got an Elon Musk update. Once I go back here and figure out where how these things fit in here. So we do have an Elon Musk update. We got to do that in a second. Let me figure out where is the piece of the puzzle that I missed here. So it's not that. It's not the legs. It's this step here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's an update to Musk, and we should talk about it. This is not necessarily set in stone. This is just the man tweeting things on his platform, so you never know. But it is based on some stuff that he has done. They've tested in a few markets. It's going to cost money to start tweeting. It will not apply to us, don't worry. But new accounts will have to either pay a little bit of money or wait a little while to begin to post. This is, I guess, been tested a few places, but he says charging a small fee to new accounts was the only way to stop the onslaught of bots. Current AI and troll farms can pass "Are you a bot?" with ease. CAPTCHA stuff. So he was like, well, the only solution then is to charge money because apparently that will be a better deterrent for bots, which, he said he said he would be able to get rid of when he bought the company. He was like, oh yeah, that's not going to be a hard thing for me to do. Apparently it was a hard thing for him to do. It is what it is. So let's see. A small fee for new users right across Unfortunately, a small fee for new user write access is the only way to curb relentless onslaught of bots. New accounts will be able to post after 3 months of creation without paying a fee. Because someone was just like, well, what about other alternatives that don't cost money? And he was like, that's way harder than paying a tiny fee. And so that's New Zealand and the Philippines have been testing this for new accounts. New users sign up to the platform, could read the posts but couldn't interact with them. So you couldn't like things, you couldn't comment, you couldn't write anything, but you could read with your account. They had to pay a fee. Yeah, it is not the sign of a thriving business. I'll say that. They figured out how to get past all their own barriers. So look at this one. Yeah, I mean it's that's the other thing, right? Like, so doesn't this mean that there will be a increased amount of attempts to take over dormant accounts, right? Because there are a lot of Twitter accounts that are just abandoned, and couldn't and wouldn't people just go in and take over those accounts to, get access to a bunch of accounts that doesn't cost them money to then send things, to change the username and all that and associate? Like, wouldn't it then be worth their while? Whereas before it wasn't necessarily worth it because there was no reason to do it. I'm not even going to put that on. We're good without it. So that's my thinking is, so they're just going to make like attacks on other people's accounts increase. Cool. Smart. These are good and smart decisions. So you can see here, we're going to put a sticker on the shoulder. You won't even be able to see it too well because of the shield, but we'll know it's there. And we'll put that on. Again, this is not a water slide decal. This is just a sticker that is similar, and they're probably easier to apply, but they don't look as good because they don't look blended in. They look layered on. But it's still pretty neat, and so we'll put that on there. And we'll have some other stickers to put on later, which again won't look too cool, but sure. And then we'll put on the last weapons here, which come out of this area. So this has to detach from this. This comes off. These come off there. And then they go on another thing. And they'll look pretty cool once they come off. Gonna deactivate mine. Yeah, I mean, I understand crazy. It makes total sense to do it. Beyond the fact that there are people that I know in my life who that is the way that we communicate is through Twitter and keep in touch, and other ways are available but not as simple. That one of the main reasons why I've kept it is promotional, right? I'm still a person that does stuff on the internet, and no other social media site has really taken off anywhere similar. So even if I'm not hitting everyone that I would like to, I still feel the need to be on there. That will change it someday. I look forward to when that changes. It has not changed right now. That there will come a time where it does not make sense for me to on there. But I'm also still on Blue Sky. I'm on Mastodon. I'm on Blue Sky, Mastodon, co-host, which isn't really a replacement for Twitter anyway. I'm not on Threads. I don't want to be on Threads. I eventually will be on Threads. I just don't like the vibe of it, so I have not used Threads. But someday I will use Threads. It's just not right now. I know at some point it'll make sense for me to be on there. But right now, I don't really want to. So I'm not. So we got these things that will come out of the sides here, which look pretty neat. So we'll put those on. I remember these other pieces didn't really want to go on, so this should be fun. Holy shit, yeah, these things don't like to go on, the side skirts. This kit, I think, looks fantastic, but in a couple instances has been incredibly frustrating. And that's, obviously, I would prefer the model kit that I work on not be frustrating. So, kind of a bummer. In some ways, this kit, just kind of irks me. And that's not great. I would prefer not to be irked buy the model kit I'm working on. Maybe I'd be on Threads if it didn't need 2 accounts to work. Yeah, I mean, I'm already on Instagram. I don't use my Facebook that much. I barely check my Facebook. I mostly check it every couple days just to like look at old photos that I uploaded or that people tagged me in, because memories is like the hidden best feature of Facebook at this point for me. Sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, this thing's coming up, or, ooh, that's right, it's so-and-so's birthday because we went out to a birthday party 20 years ago or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, I guess that's pretty good for me to know about. But that's about it. Anyway, I don't think this is going to help Twitter. I don't think it's going to hurt them too much. I don't know who's making a new account on Twitter these days outside of projects or like businesses. And then I guess it encourages businesses to pay money so they don't have to pay little money. But to get verified as a business, I guess it does, but I don't know. It certainly will reduce the amount of joke accounts getting made on Twitter, which obviously has already been decreased, but it will decrease it even more because now starting an account there will cost you money for a while. Okay. And goodbye. I don't know what that was for, but that's okay. For those that didn't see it, there was a first-time poster, and it appeared to me that they decided to use a some sort of like paragraph that feels like it was AI generated. Like they said, I love mayo chicken from McDonald's, which is not what it's called. Yeah, it seemed really weird. Real strange. Real strange. So I just, I just blocked the user because I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. No idea. No idea why that was there. But it was weird. It was very strange. Yeah, very, very odd. I don't know. That shouldn't have thrown me off. It's just, you know what? We usually get, if we get spam in this channel, we get spam that is like, or nonsense. We normally just get like, do you want more followers nonsense, right? Yeah, we rarely get like, here's a paragraph about somebody that wants mayo chicken sauce packets, which again is just mayonnaise. I don't know. I think that's what it is. I think that the phrase, that paragraph was just weird enough that it broke my brain if that makes any sense. I think it did. It broke my brain for a second, and I was like, I don't know how to comprehend this. It was very weird. I'm going to, yeah. There. Clear the chat out a little bit. Just going to clear the chat. Wipe the slate clean. I can still see it, but eventually more people will talk and I won't see it anymore. Because as I said, it is somewhat breaking my brain. So we got these weird things that come out of this kit. It's an odd looking kit. You know what? I was going to take more than one photo, but I'm not. I'm going to take multiple photos. Thank you, yes, for the trash can. Now, I keep seeing that, hold on one second. Let me just do this. There we go. There we go. Got rid of it. And we just got raided. What a actually legitimately excellent time to be raided. Welcome, raiders. Hi, I'm Pat Baer. Welcome, people that hung out with good old Bad Gunpla. Now, was Jason actually building a model kit? Or was Jason doing... Okay, you love cards. Okay, so that tells me that Jason was doing his best to explain to the chat what was going on in Magic the Gathering. Is that what it was? Magic Night? It was Magic Night. Okay. I thought I saw that, but I was, sometimes when you're on Discord and you see like a post and you're like, oh, okay, I'm semi-acknowledging this post exists. And then like something else catches your eye. Okay. I couldn't remember if that was like a thing you were doing in the future or a thing you were doing today. Well, great. This is not going to be about Magic the Gathering, and I hope that's okay. We're working on the Dreadnought, the Astray from 2004. We're going to build the bigger version of the backpack. This kit is weird because it's got these things that come out of it. This kit just feels like it's like a bunch of ideas thrown together. Because it's like, oh yeah, there's a sticker on the shoulder. But you put a shield so you can't see the sticker. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this kit. I don't hate it, but there is a lot going on. Oh, also, I guess I put the shield on wrong. That would explain it. I put the shield on upside down. That would also explain why... No, it's still hard to... It's still not right. The shield is still too big for the shoulders. Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. Well, thank you. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope the spouse is doing all right. Send my love, and thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Welcome, raiders. If you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. Tonight we're going to finish up this model kit, and then eventually, if there's time permitting, we might start a Lego set because I got one on deck. We talk about anime and video games and wrestling and manga and news of the world and things and things. Try to be positive as we're talking about stuff. Occasionally we fail, we fuck up. I'd like to think that I have fostered a community of cool folks doing fun stuff. It seems to be the case. So, I hope you'll hang out. If you'd like to hit the follow button, you're more than welcome to do so. That would be great. And it would be my pleasure to have you here. Here, click, 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 click. And this is number 7. Great. So 7 goes on the outside, 5 goes on the inside, and then we need a bunch of polycaps to build the big backpack part of this kit. All right, so let's check out some video game news and such. Apparently, this is a weird thing, folks. And by weird, I mean not weird at all, but some people think it's very weird. Apparently, having a TV series, or in this case, a streamer, having a streamer do well makes people interested in the video games that TV show is based on, because apparently a bunch of people have started playing, let's be honest, very old video games. Because all of the Fallout games are pretty old. I mean, 76 isn't super old, but individual player counts, and this is, of course, Steam only. So this is individuals on Steam. Have increased. People are getting into getting back into, let's say. And apparently on April 14th, there were like 80,000 people playing Fallout 4. And as of today, the 15th, Fallout 4 had about 68,000, which for a Monday, that's pretty good on a Monday. Pretty good. And that shouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world. And I don't think it is shocking, but it is interesting that, like, a game that's pretty old, like people were just like, yeah, I guess I'll try it. Now, those games are being given away, as Lashberg says. Yes, I am not saying that that this is like that they sold a bunch of copies out of nowhere. This is people who are either returning to the game that have played it before, or this is people who are like, I guess I'll try this game out again. You know, it's free. I'll check that out. I will say that we don't know the numbers of how many people are playing that, but if you're getting it free, it's not the Steam version. You're getting the, I don't think it is. It might be, but I'm pretty sure you're getting the version that like you have to have the launcher. I don't know for sure. Actually, let's be real. I actually don't know for sure. Let's just really quick look at a thing and see. Let me see here. Where is it? Fallout has arrived. Fallout 76 claim. Fallout 76 PC. Okay, because it was Xbox and PC. If I click on Fallout 76 for that, and then I click on this thing that tells me that we're trusted here, because I have some no scripts. I have some no scripts running. Include Prime, and then I click Get Game. What does it do? Copy code. Microsoft device. Yes, this is, so this code is, so now I have a code for 76 that I have to open in the Microsoft store. So obviously giving stuff away for free is huge, but it's not just because they gave it away for free. If the Steam numbers are up, that's people on Steam being like, yeah, I want to play that game. I want to try that game. You know, there are deals places and you know, in a variety of places and such. I'm just saying that, like, you know, that's still pretty cool. I don't hate that. I think that's pretty neat. Good on them. Fallout TV show, pretty good, I think. Let's see. Skybound Games is doing a crowdfunding for a video game based on Invincible, which seems weird. Skybound Entertainment has been, I guess this has been happening all month because it's wrapping up the end. They've raised $446,000, which is well above the target of $50,000, which, of course, reminder, and Kickstarters of that magnitude, $50,000 is a joke. That's not, that was just we need to have a low number that we can hit so that we can promote that we've hit that number. That's not how much money it costs to make a game. Also, $400,000 is not how much money it costs to make a game either, but that's because they're not fully funding by that. That is more, they are doing what people used to do, it seems like, which is, of course, use your Kickstarter launch as a way to advertise and lock in people and have pre-order sales, because every Kickstarter purchase is a pre-order. So you can, you're not inflating numbers, but you're letting people know how good the numbers are. They're going to look at it later. But it's a crowdfunding. Oh, you're right. It is not a Kickstarter. I read that incorrectly. It is crowdfunded, but it is, okay, yeah. So this is this is one of these nonsense ones. This is like Fig, where they're like, oh no, you're an investor in this. So my apologies, friends. I had some of my information wrong. Yes, this is an investor thing. 30 plus. Yeah. Ugh. Most crowdfunding video games are centered around indie games, and retail investors rarely have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of AAA game publishers. Skybound is developing a highly produced, high-octane bloodbath that is anything but indie. That's not true. It's still an indie game. You're making an indie game. Yeah, this is bad. If you say you have 30 employees, then you are an indie developer. You're going to make an indie game. You're definitely making an independent indie game. Come on, what are we talking about here? Splitting hairs trying to get investor money. Come on. You're afraid of the term indie will make people think that you're not making something ambitious, which you may or may not be making. But let's be real. Come on. Anyway, I guess the news for me is there's going to be an Invincible game, and that makes sense. To make a bloody video game based on that property makes total sense. This is not for the average person. Yes. Yeah, no, here's the thing. Because they're still being like, hey, put your money where your mouth is if you're a fan. If you're a fan of this series, you should invest in a video game for it. Like, they want rich fans to be not just people who invest money on things they think could turn out well for them. They could get a return on their investment. They also want fans because that's, I guess part of their business model. Yeah. It's a lot of whatever. Who knows? The other thing is, like, if it makes it so the game comes out, those employees get to keep working on games. Sure. That seems all right. Sometimes I forget that game developer is like... Game developer, the website, gamedeveloper.com, I'm starting to use a little bit more to pull stories. And I have to remind myself, because I'm not good at necessarily reminding myself that, like, okay, yeah, there's not like a twinge. It's not like nefarious, but there is a slant on their stories that are like, there is no real editorial about like what they're about to say, right? Like, if there is editorial, it's not like, and clearly this is a scam. Like, they're not in the business of telling you that something feels fishy. That's just not how they operate. And I have to remind myself of that, because otherwise I can just be like taking things at face value instead of questioning them. Ooh, I put this in wrong. I put this in wrong. It's got to go in like that. There it is. Great. And then we can fill this back in here, which we'll do like that. Great. Now this kit wants some funnel things on the side. We're going to pop these off here. So we don't want the gun and the shield on when we put on these other things, because we want that to have the focus. So we'll do that. Let's see. Apparently seems to be a fairly slow news day on Monday, which is okay. We're going to see here. Okay, content warning. The video game content warning apparently has sold 1 million copies in about 2 weeks. But they also gave away a lot. Yes. Okay. So they have sold over 1 million copies, but they've also given away 6.2 million copies. So still, that's a lot of copies to give away. And that's a lot of copies to sell. So good on them for both those things, I guess. All right. So let's get these out here. We still got to build our funnels here on the back, but I want to pop these out first. We'll do that. Great. This is off. This is off. Now we can see the sticker we put on, and then we're going to have other stickers that are going to need to go on as well. So we'll get that prepped. And now we can focus on the last assembly of this kit, which is these things, which we can all do all at once. And also selling 1 million copies where it's $8. I mean, there's the more expensive version, I'm sure. 24-hour promotional window, and then it started selling for $8, which is, again, it's pretty cool. I think overall it's a pretty rad idea. So I give them a lot of credit for this, the tactic that they put in. I have not played Content Warning. I actually haven't even really watched anyone stream it that I know, because none of the people that I watch have streamed it. But I do hear good things, and I just think that that is a fun success story. And one would hope that people that got the game for free might be interested in buying the next game that they make. You know, like, hopefully this leads to a brighter future for them, because that would be rad. But at the very least, I think it's an interesting strategy to give out a game like that. Give out millions of copies of a game and then put it on for sale and then still sell 1 million of them. Let's see. Free forever, of course. And they got to fix some bugs and server issues. And apparently this dev team is 5 people. And so that just fucking rules. And yeah, they're working on fixing some bugs and such. But imagine a 5-person team selling 1 million copies of a game in 2 weeks, and then also having a player base of 7.5 million at most. This is pretty rad. It's pretty fucking cool. Let's see what else we got here. What else is going on in the news? Let's look over on old Polygon. What do you got to say? Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about this. This is a thing that's happening. Look, there's not much to say about this. Keanu Reeves is going to be in Sonic 3 as the voice of Shadow. And if I lived in a vacuum and I was unaware that Idris Elba voices Knuckles, the idea that Keanu Reeves would voice Shadow would be weirder. But it is weird, but it also isn't weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, in a world where Idris Elba is the voice of Knuckles, Keanu Reeves being the voice of Shadow, I hope he does a real edgelord take on it. I don't know. He also could just play it very straight and very, like, even keel, and I think that would be a fun take. Like, of all of the casting, is it weirder? And I don't know if it is than Knuckles casting, right? Because, yes, crazy. Here's the thing. Jim Carrey as a live action Dr. Robotnik isn't weird to me. Jim Carrey is a cartoon man. Now, as an actor, has he stretched beyond what you think of as his early acting career, both in Living Color and then his early movies? Of course, he has grown, and he has been a wide range of characters. But if you're like, Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik, and he's a live-action Dr. Robotnik, and I'm like, yeah, actually, fuck yeah. You know what? Sure. That sounds great. I still have hope. You don't know who this is, but I know who this is. So here's the deal. The voice of Sonic is, you probably know Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz is the voice of Sonic. He has been in the first 2 movies. He'll be in this one. In the Knuckles TV show, and also in Sonic 2 for a little bit, there is a character that hangs out with Knuckles that is played by Adam Pally. Adam Pally is an actor, a bunch of things, podcasts, all kinds of stuff. Adam and Ben did comedy together for many years. They were 2/3 of a sketch group called Hot Sauce, and they performed together at UCB. And so them being in the same universe, one is a live action actor, one is a voice actor, is really fun for me. So my ultimate goal is that the voice of Big the Cat someday, or Big the Cat's human friend, will be performed by Gil Ozeri, the third member of Hot Sauce. You also might know Adam Pally as Adam Pally is one of the guys in the Marvel universe. He's one of the guys in the Marvel universe who's just he has a huge crush on Tony Stark, and there's a whole thing with him and getting coffee and being enamored with Tony Stark, which I always loved. He's one of my random friends who randomly has a bit comedy part in a goddamn Marvel movie. Yeah. So Adam is Knuckles' friend. And it's wild that he's in that. But he and Ben are, did comedy together for decades. Adam is also in a weird show with Gabrus that I think was on True TV. He and John Gambris were on a show that I cannot tell you anything about because I did not watch it. Lashbury says, I mean, if you're going to have a character with a gun, you might as well get the dude for being a character with a gun. Yes. If Keanu Reeves is going to do Shadow in the style of John Wick, then yeah. But also, what if he's just a down-to-earth Keanu Reeves type? I just also think that's funny. I just think there's no version of it that won't be good. Yes, Lord Crashington. Adam Pally is in the Knuckles series as Knuckles' friend, which is just a weird sentence for me to say out loud. It's just a weird thing. I'm very, very happy for him to be in a show. I'm happy for him to be a show his kids can watch. That's neat. Ben does not have any children, but Adam does. Ben, the guy who has been the voice of a lot of characters in children's programming. Well, how well the first movie did. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's one of those things that conceptually, it's just wild in a way that I am super into. It's just a wild thing to exist. To be yeah. Yeah. You know, the usuals. Also, Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba are going to be in the same movie. That's fun. I assume Knuckles will be in it. And then it's funny because Tails is just, if I remember correctly, Tails is just a woman who has done the voice of Tails in a bunch of things. They just got someone good to be Tails, but then they were no, we're stunt casting Shadow. This is yeah, all right. Ben does a lot of voiceover work. Yes, he's been a Donatello. He was one of, he was Huey, Dewey, or Louie. Can't remember which one. In the reboot of DuckTales. Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. He did various characters, various voices in Robot Chicken, because he wrote for Robot Chicken. It was one of his first Hollywood gigs, was Robot Chicken. So he did a bunch of voices for that. Wrote a bunch of stuff. Ben has written a bunch of Robot Chicken stuff that is very hard to find because it didn't end up in reruns because it was Nintendo stuff, and Nintendo was unhappy with Robot Chicken. So some of Ben's stuff just doesn't exist for that in traditional means, I should say. All right, so I'm going to put these on before I put the last stickers on here because I got to make sure I'm lining these up properly. This does look pretty fucking cool. I will say that. These things look pretty neat. Big backpack. All right, so then how do these look? These read like that. All right, I'm going to look at... Okay. So that just goes like here, and here. I'm going to put them. Okay. And it goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is fine if I fuck that up. Yes. His role in Parks and Rec, opposite Jenny Slate, the brother and sister duo there. Yes, certainly well known. Ben was also in a like a funny spy show that I can't remember the name of. And then he was also in, like, he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's been in a few TV things. Sorry, I got quiet there. But yeah. I mean, the big thing is, of course, Keanu Reeves. No, he wasn't on Chuck. He was on a spy show that didn't run that long. And it was funny, and people didn't know it was funny because the ads didn't say that it was funny. And then, yes, he was also in Renfield. And apparently, he and some of the ad-libs made it in, but apparently he and Nick Cage have like 20 minutes of goofing around that, you know, like, because of course, because you let that happen, that didn't make it in it. Because you would give them the opportunity if you had the time to give them opportunity. Let's see. Oh, I have not seen this story. So, you may have heard of Dimension 20. D20. Speaking of things run by people that I am friends with that I have not talked to in a while, you may be aware of Dimension 20. The actual play that do D&D and various other systems. They made the announcement that they were going to do a fucking big-ass live show that they were calling Gauntlet at the Garden. Yes, they're Dimension 20. They're on Dropout. Sam, who, you know, was one of the people that ran College Humor for many years, the creative end of College Humor for many years. Dropout was their streaming service that was part of College Humor. Then they bought the name to College Humor. They broke off from College Humor, then bought the name to College Humor, and then officially, completely and utterly rebranded to Dropout instead of trying to run both. And someday they will probably put things out as College Humor, as a legacy brand, because there will be people with money that have fond memories of it. Anyway, they're going to do a big live event for D20. And they're going to do it at the Garden. And everyone was just like, that sounds great, except you're doing a show at Madison Square Garden? Won't tickets be incredibly expensive? And unfortunately, the answer to that was, yeah, and the fees are going to be real bad. And the audience is going to be fucking pissed off. Whoa, what happened? Oh, okay, we got to follow. I forgot that's the follow noise. Why did I make the follow noise that sound? Pabalo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. So yeah, so people were just like, hey, why is this thing so expensive? Why are like floor seats thousands of dollars? And then on Sunday, I missed this on Sunday, they put out a statement that they are working with Ticketmaster. So Ticketmaster was basically doing dynamic pricing instead of just like every ticket was available to me. Front row was VIP for... Okay, yeah. So basically, as people started buying tickets, there wasn't a rush on tickets. It's just that tickets got made, which automatically triggered Ticketmaster's system of, well, if these tickets are selling well, we can raise the price for other tickets in this area. So a ticket for somebody, a VIP $250, as people were buying those tickets, the other VIP tickets started going up in price. And apparently they are, College Humor has said, or Dropout, I should say, has said that they have requested that they're working with Ticketmaster to get rid of this. Let's see. Dimension 20 Cast explained, dynamic pricing system platinum tickets had not been something explained to us, nor something presented as something we would have the ability to opt out of. Once we had a better understanding of the situation as a group, we communicated to Live Nation that it was our desire to opt out of all dynamic price tickets for this event and all events going forward. So I will say this. The average cost is about $119. That seems about right. It's just some of the more expensive ones are even more, we're going up in price. And it's also going to be available to drop out later because they're not just going to do a one-time live event and then never do anything with it. Now, I'm going to say this. There are some very smart people at Dropout. And I'm annoyed for them that they didn't think this could happen to them. It feels naive, right? It feels like you could say, we said we didn't want dynamic prices. They did it. It was an error. We're sorry, which would be a lie, I guess. But that, like, the idea that this contract got made, they signed all this paperwork, and nobody at any point went, hey, we know what Live Nation does, though, right? So, like, are there any guarantees that they won't do that for us? Can we make that part of our contract? It is kind of surprising to me that it got this far. And I will say this, as someone who knows how anti-capitalists various members of that crew are, I am kind of fucking surprised that Mulligan didn't make a stink about it before it went live. And I kind of, I was a little shocked that it got that far. I'm glad it seemingly has been taken care of, or they'll be working on taking care of it. But yeah, kind of shitty. Again, this wasn't every ticket. This was expensive tickets became more expensive because that's what they do. Their dynamic pricing, which should be illegal because it's anti-consumer and does not benefit anyone. And Live Nation is a monopoly that goes after, does its damnedest to make sure that venues play along. And they go so far as to make sure that, like, if you are a sizable venue and you don't sell tickets through them, then artists that use them are not allowed to book at your venue. Which is awful. So yeah, my hope is they can make up for this. But of course they say dynamic pricing is about capturing more value for the artist, is what they said in 2022. Let's see. Live Nation, this is a study said, uses its promoter and artist management business lines as bargaining chips to gain exclusive contracts with venues. That's what I was talking about there. 78% of the top grossing arenas in the United States use Ticketmaster / Live Nation, including Madison Square Garden. And apparently they are going to be doing a lottery called Dimensioner tickets. So some people are going to be able to buy tickets for $35 each, which will be some of the good seats and some not so good seats. So that is a somewhat make good that they're going to do. They're going to do low price tickets out of the tickets they get allotted. And I should say that they have sold over 15,000 tickets to the event in 2 weeks. So even if people did get, probably some people overpaid, certainly some people overpaid, but people are still obviously interested. If you were going to be like, well, why are they even doing that venue? Who wants to see this? It's like, They probably couldn't get it in every major city. They probably couldn't get it consistently, but they could do a one-off, and people fucking want to come out for that. We are done with this kit. My thoughts on this. There were a couple parts. This backpack does not fit on particularly great. Lord Crashman wants me to hit the dance button. I will. If you're new to the stream, you can use your channel points to get me to dance, and I will to music that will not get me in any trouble. Oh yeah. But yeah, we finished this kit. I would describe this as pretty cool. Some of it is not great. I don't think the fact that the shield doesn't line up well with the shoulders bothers me. I think that the backpack isn't great. I think the biggest issue with this kit is that it does not have any way for you to put it on a stand. There is no way to put this kit on a stand, and a kit that came out in, yes, this kit is 20 years old, but they had figured that shit out 20 years ago. It's wild, this kit. And it's not even like the foot. They don't even have like a foot peg. Like there's nothing. There's no way to put this on a stand. That's weird. Strange. I thought this kit was pretty all right. We're going to start something new in the second hour. We can get that at least out here, get the box out here. I'm going to have to change the name here, but we're going to go to this screen for a moment. The retro roller skate. I'm going to add that information to the stream here so that I'll have that information present. Lego 3-in-1. We'll do Lego retro roller skate 3-in-1. Well, that's what we'll call it. There we go. That's the next thing that we're going to be building. But before we can do that, I got to do my pause for the cause. Now, folks that are new to the channel, if you came in from Bad Gunpla's raid, if you just stumbled in because you wanted to check out Makers and Crafting, you didn't know what we were going to be doing here, this is the point in the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can support what I do here. And everything I'm going to be telling you are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you wanted to, that would be great. Sorry, I'm bringing something up real quick. Great. If you wanted to support what I do here financially, you're more than welcome to do that. But you don't have to. But first and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money, or you could use your Prime Gaming token. But yeah, you become a subscriber. You don't see ads before the stream starts. You know, like you never see that. If I do a long stream, there'll be an ad break. You don't have to watch that ad break. We'll just continue. It is a nice way to support what I do here, and it's optional, of course, but it does financially help me out. So if you want to become a subscriber, you could. You could also gift a sub, like Bobby Dice Roller and Aristofan did this month. We're currently at 36 subscribers out of 50. The goal is always to get to 50. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm shooting for. So if you want to become a subscriber, that would be awesome. I would love it. You could also do cheers if you want to join the cheerleader board. Now, there are other ways to support what I do here financially that are unrelated, like my Patreon. I got a Patreon. And over on Patreon, there is the $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon at your leisure, but I would love it if you would at least consider jumping in on there as an alternative to going through Twitch. Because maybe you pay Turbo, and so you don't see ads anyway, so it doesn't matter if you're subscribed to me or not. Good, go for it. Do what you got to do. I got a YouTube channel, though. Yeah, youtube.com/PatBear. Now, obviously, subscribing to YouTube is free. Jump over to my YouTube. But while you're there, if you want to become a member, if that's how you want to financially support me out, John just subscribed with Prime saying, I'm here for 29 months of petite capitalism. Indeed. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. And thank John very much for their continued support. 29 months is a lot of months. And now we're up to 37 subscribers. That's awesome. We're on our way to 50. So thank you very much, John. YouTube has memberships. You could do that. But at least subscribe, because subscribing is free. So those are monthly ways to support me financially, which is rad. But maybe you're saying to yourself, Pat, I don't want to do a monthly. But I would like to hit your tip jar. Do you have a tip jar? And the answer to that question is yes. I have Ko-Fi or PayPal. You can just do that if you wanted to. And everything I made through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching the videos that I make also helps me out. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out and I use that to buy model kits like the Dreadnought that we just completed and this Lego set that I'm going to be starting. The roller skate, the retro roller skate kit. I was able to purchase that because of past subscribers helping me out in various means. And I have a backlog of stuff that I'm happy to build. But there's a way to make sure that I don't build that stuff. If you're like, no, Pat, I don't want you to build anything from your backlog. Stuff that you chose, stuff that you got a good deal on. No, don't build that. Instead, build this thing that I bought. If you're like that, maybe you don't have that attitude. But if you're like that, you just go to my Amazon wish list, buy something there. It'll come to me in the mail. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing for my mailbag series. And then I'll build it. And it'll jump the queue and become the next thing that I build instead of the stuff I have in my backlog. I won't be able to work on the Maxter. I won't be able to work on one of the other 2 model kits that are currently in the mail coming to me that I'll be building soon. Instead, I'll work on the thing you bought. I've got Lego sets and model kits here, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that go on sale, kits that they're shipping from overseas and are going to take forever to show up. All kinds of different stuff that I would be happy to build on stream if you wanted to purchase it. So see if there's something there that you'd like to see me put together and pick it up. And there's some gear there as well. I've got some gear. I ended up just buying a piece of gear that was there because it was on sale. I saw that it had gone on sale and I was like, I'm going to get that. So I was able to pick up a new light bar that's going to go right over here where my current light bar is that I don't like because it's not USB powered. It's USB charging, which means that even though it's plugged in right now, it's running off battery. And that's terrible because battery can just die. And over time, that battery is going to get worse. So that's going to become my backup light. And instead of using that, I'm going to get a light that's actually powered through USB that is a bar instead of a square. I'm excited to try that out. Maybe it'll be terrible. Hello, Vicky. Welcome. Maybe it'll be bad, but I'm going to get it tomorrow. So we'll find out on Thursday if it's bad or not. I will keep this thing around in case I need to swap it out. There's other things for me to talk to you about. So let's get into those things I want to talk to you about. My alternatives to having an Amazon wish list, because people care about alternatives, and I care about them, is I have a Throne wish list. I have a lot of gift cards up there at the moment. I will be including more model kits and such. Right now it's mostly gift cards. And then also USA Gundam Store, the most convoluted way to support me. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card there. You get an email with the gift card code. You send me a DM on Twitter or a whisper here on Twitch with that gift card code, or you request that you can send me a DM on like Discord, I guess. If you and then delete that. I don't know. But you can do that. And then I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store. It's the most convoluted way of supporting me, but people have done it before. If you want, speaking of Discord, if you want to join my Discord, if you want to hang out in a cool place for cool people, go join the Discord there. Click the link to the discord.gg and join. I'd love to have you there. Got a couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. A new episode went up today of Pat Baer's Anime Club, so it would be rad if you wanted to go check out that episode. This episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about all 11 isekai that are out this season. New and returning isekai and continuing. There are 11 of them, and I talked about all 11 and if I'm watching them or not. And then you can also watch the video and then argue in the comments if you want if one of them that I've listed is an isekai or not, because I say it is, and some people don't think it is. But there's also a show that I don't think is an isekai, but people say is an isekai. So maybe it's actually 9. Maybe I'm wrong and other people are wrong. Or maybe it's really 10. Who could say? Watch the video to find out more. And then Kuma Baer is my ongoing weekly video series. It's my suggestion series about anime. It's your weekly anime recommendation. Every episode has a theme, or every month has a theme, I should say. This month's theme for April was me is me recommending shows from last season, the winter 2020 season, that I thought were good. And in this video, I tried to convince you to check out Villainous Level 99, which I think is an incredibly strong show from the winter season. It is an isekai, but I think it has some unique characters and some interesting world building, and a main character who is just seemingly on the spectrum, which is an interesting choice for an overpowered main character. And maybe a good reason why they are not a world beater. They are not trying to take over, because that would be a hassle, because their somewhat robotic brain has decided that that's not what they're interested in. They're a capital G gamer, and that's what they want to do. It's really fun. I enjoy that series very much. So I have a manga to talk to you about, and then some anime to chat with you about. So we'll get into that now. We'll start with the manga and the anime. Before I dive into manga chat, what I need to do is I need to drink some water. So I'm going to do that. And we'll dramatically transition to our overhead camera and get into Lego sorting right now. I'm going to drink a little bit more water. Oh, that's good. Turns out I needed it. It's warm in this room. These lights, I have a light facing me. I have an overhead light here. I have my 3 monitors. I have my computer is right there, a little below me. Woof, a lot of heat. Lord Cranston says, I thought I saw that isekai is in the real dictionary now. I would totally believe that. I think that that is a borrowed word that has been used and has a meaning that there is, while there is a direct translation, it does not signify the genre. If you said it's a different world anime, people would know what you mean. They would know you mean an isekai. But if you just say it's an isekai, it's specific in a way, and it makes sense that it would enter popular culture enough to be in a dictionary. That does not surprise me. All right. The Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah. They like adding words. Turns out they're word nerds. All right. So, generally, the Lego 3-in-1 sets, if you haven't built the 3-in-1, we have 3 things that we can build here. You can see that. And each booklet is, you're not going to use every piece. This is probably going to use every piece. The skate is probably going to use every piece, or almost every piece. These other ones won't use all of them. We're going to start with the skate. Now, generally, you don't have 2 bags. Generally, you just have 1 bag for this, but this is a bigger 3-in-1. So we're going to start with the skate, and we're going to start with bag 1. And eventually, we'll have to have both bags up and ready to sort, and this is going to be a lot, and I'm going to have to figure that out. But that's a future problem for Pat. That's a Thursday Pat problem, not a Monday Pat problem. So I'm going to open up bag 1 because that is the first instruction, is to just open bag 1, and we are going to null. If you have not watched me build Lego before, and you're like, Pat, you just used a word I don't understand. This is not a borrowed word from another language. It's a borrowed word from a different philosophy, I should say, hobby. The idea of nulling tools, organizing tools by shape, by color, and then having them all out there so you can easily find them, because you're like, all my knives are separated here. All my spudgers are here, and the spudgers go from size. All my screwdrivers are organized like this. It is a style of organizing which has been adopted in the Lego building community, because we're making sure there's no pieces that got stuck, no problems there. But basically, like, some people will build out of a pile or out of a bowl, and they'll just go, okay, I need 2 white of these. I need 2 of these. Okay, so I got 1 of these and I got 2 of them. Great. But I need 6 of these. Okay, so then I got to dig in. I got to find all those. Instead of that, what I can do is I can just put all of this teal. I think it's teal. All of this color, all of this light green, I can put all those in a pile. And then I can find, then when I'm looking for a light green 1x4, I can at least look in the green pile. I can go to the light green pile instead of this is teal. Is this sea green? Is that what this is? Is that what this color is? Sea green? Whatever. If this is separated from this, then I can find those very easily. So that is just what knolling means. So we are going to do that. Now off stream, I will go and organize. I will take these and like make them a lovely pile. I will go and organize all of them because that reduces space. And then that also decreases the amount of digging that I have to do to find things. I won't be doing that here as much. I'll probably do a little of it as I go, but mostly I'm just going to be separating by color. And then we also have these other small bags within the one bag that we need to get as well. So I'm mostly just going to be separating by color. And then in my off-stream time, I will go in and do a better job of organizing these so that I can find them easier for myself. And then, yeah, and I'm just going to be putting them in different piles in different locations so that I can find them easier. But it is just a style of sorting, which I have come to really appreciate and enjoy. Now, while I am knolling, the perfect time to talk about a manga that I have been reading. Outcast Adventurer's Second Chance, Training in the Fairy World to Forge a Place to Belong. Is one of those is a kicked banished series. It is not an isekai. Our main character is from the world that he inhabits currently. It's a tale as old as time, my friends. He was childhood friends. They were all in the orphanage together. They were all raised in the church. And they all became adventurers together. They went off to the world of adventuring. And they ranked up higher. And when they ranked up, they were like, actually, fuck this. You're out. The main dude, the leader of the party, kicked our guy out. And why did he kick him out? Because he wasn't strong enough? No, he was plenty strong. He was actually really good. And he handled their finances. And he did, he talked to people. And he was, and people liked him. And he was a good adventurer. Why was he kicked out? Well, the reason they gave was, well, all of the bad rumors about you. There are rumors that you go to brothels and that you're stealing from people. And we have all these rumors. And we just ranked up. So, which of course they waited till after they ranked up to kick him out. So we can't have you here anymore. And he's like, you know what? Actually, honestly, Glenn is just kind of like, yeah, I was thinking of leaving the party anyway, because the three of you or the four of you are like just kind of gross and I'm kind of tired of it. So you know what? Sure. I'm out. No problem. So he's like, okay, well, while I figure things out, I guess these rumors are persisting. They're annoying. You know what? I'm going to stop by the church that I used to, that I grew up in, kind of just see what's going on. Make sure they've been getting all the money I've been sending them. And he shows up, and somebody he doesn't recognize that works at the church is just like, we heard about all those rumors. We don't think you should be here. And that, unfortunately, that does set off our main character. That hurts him. That hits him hard because this was the place that he wasn't expecting that. And so he just kind of wanders off to the forest. And then we learn a bit about our guy that at some point, in order to get over being a scaredy cat, he developed a spell to erase parts of his personality. Now, I was not expecting this when this came up, but basically he electrocutes himself. And he does that so he can kind of forget what's going on here. And that causes him, he almost dies. So our story is almost one chapter long, but don't worry, more stuff happens. It gets better for our guy because he wakes up in the fairy world. He has always been kind to fairies, and they've always been appreciative of him, even if he hasn't seen them. That they know that he's a good dude, and he's got a lot of magic. And the queen of the fairies basically forcibly formed a contract with him in order to save his life. So now our boy Glenn has a contract with the Queen of all fairies, and therefore a contract with every fairy. And he has incredible power, way more than he had before. So now he's an overpowered main character. And he spends a lot of time there. And then he and a bunch of the fairies just head to the real world to figure shit out. And I don't want to go too deep into the figuring shit out, but I will say, you can probably guess, because of the kind of story this is, where those bad rumors came from and what the fuck is going on. And will there be revenge? The answer is yeah. But also, there's a fun cat character, a cat lady. There is a princess that needs his help. There's a bunch of stuff going on that's all pretty fucking cool. And it is I would say, pretty damn satisfying series. If that's something you're interested in, the manga is called Outcast Adventurers Second Chance. Training in the fairy world to forge a place to belong. It moves pretty well. Art looks nice. It's a solid little series that I recommend. All right. I'm kind of, even just one bag in, I'm sort of running out of places to put Lego. I have some room, but I don't have as much room as I would like. So I'm now just kind of finding places to organize my stuff here. We'll make it work. Now it's time for me to talk to you about some anime. The second episode of Tonari no Youkai-san and the first episode of Kaiju number 8. That's right. I decided that I wanted to watch Kaiju number 8. I didn't watch it this past weekend, but a bunch of friends were like, this is a great adaptation of this. And I can't say that I loved the manga of it, but I heard it was a good adaptation. And I'll be honest, I'm not super into a lot of stuff this season. I'm only like watching, this is a weird thing to say, I think I'm only watching 3 isekai right now, and none of them are new. One of them is new. One is new, and then 2 returning isekai. So, like, I don't know. I was kind of thinking, like, maybe I can find something cool to watch. So I tried out Kaiju number 8. So I'll tell you about that in a second. But we'll start with Tonari no Youkai-san. If you missed the first episode of this show, this is some good weird shit. Basically, at some point in the past, yokai, monsters from legend, showed up on Earth. And also some gods from the sky. The gods and the demons all showed up just to see what's going on and hang out. And then the gods were like, cool, peace. We're going to go back to the heavens. And the yokai were like, Earth seems pretty fucking rad. We're going to hang out here. And so we are tackling this world as it's changed forever from 3 perspectives. From a young girl named Muchan, whose father disappeared. She is a regular human girl. Her father disappeared, and we're going to learn more about that. We are looking from the world of her neighbor, who is a crow man named Jiro. And we're looking at it from the perspective of... well, actually, there's another character that we kind of get introduced to. But for the main 3... and then we're also looking at the world of Buchio. Buchio was a regular cat who is now becoming a yokai. He is becoming a Nekomata. So he's becoming cat spirit. It's a whole thing. He's like feels really weird about it. He now has a full consciousness and can talk, and it's a weird thing. So this is a weird slice of life from different perspectives, and it's pretty neat. So we start with this episode kind of picking up where we left off, with Muchan really afraid about her dad being disappeared and gone forever. And it's a little melancholy. Like, her stuff is definitely melancholy, where she's like, am I going to forget him someday? Or memories of him just going to fade? Then there is one of his friends, Yuri, has a barbecue. Yuri is the owner of Buchio when Buchio was just a cat. And so we have a bunch of humans and yokai show up. Tanaka, who's a human, is there. There's a yokai that looks like a horse named Yashu. I forget what kind of yokai it is. I didn't write that down in my notes, but it is a horse person, and that's fun. And then there's a monkey that was all over this episode and is maybe right now the reason to watch the show. Beto Beto is a monkey. And Beto Beto is 125 and is just like, Jiro's older than me. The crow is older than me, which Buchio was very surprised about because the crow acts like a child, or somewhat childish, like a teen, I guess. Not like a child, like a teen. Buchio and Jiro talk about how Buchio's like, look, I don't know why I got reborn as a Nekomata. I don't have a reason for it. Like I don't think there's a reason that this happened to me. And Jiro's just like, oh no. Beto Beto's like, well, it might be that you don't know what your purpose is. Like you don't have a goal. We all have essences. Buchio is just like, I think it might be that I'm grateful for the time I spent with my family. The family that took care of him as a cat. And they're like, oh, well, you should probably just tell them that. That might give you some peace of mind. And it's a lovely little thing. Apparently, yokai and children study together in school. That is how they're dealing with the sudden influence of yokai, or existence, I should say. There is a Rio, who is a friend with Muchan. Rio is a cool boy that gives an eraser. Gives the fallen eraser to a kappa named Nakagawa. You may know kappa. They look kind of like turtles, but they have like bald heads, and sometimes they have water, and often they are mean-spirited. But this kappa seems cool. And this kappa has a crush on Rio, which is a problem when the water in her head that surrounds her bald spot evaporates because she's like got a little emotional. There's a whole small story about this, about her being encouraged to like let him know that she has a crush on him, or at least talk to him, maybe build a friendship. She's like, you should use the relay race, the school relay race, in order to like show him, how you feel. And she like in a trial like falls flat on her face. It's little hijinks stuff, little cute stuff going on. It's just one of the people involved is a yokai. And he's like, she's weird around me. Did I like make her upset? But at least she can't express her feelings, but she at least, or fully, but she can at least be like, no, we don't have a problem. Like clears up the misunderstanding. And she's able to thank him for returning her eraser. It's a lovely little scene. Again, weird world building. Love this shit. Jiro and another yokai are in the forest looking for somebody that apparently has been lurking out there. And Muchan follows him. And she is not supposed to do that. And she knows she's not supposed to do that. And then, there is a snake yokai that hypnotizes... the snake yokai hypnotizes Muchan and tries to get her to break this rope that wards off evil spirits, because I guess because the snake can't do it, so she's trying to trick a human into doing it. But luckily, Jiro show up and help her out, and she doesn't remember what happened. Apparently, it's a weird scene. Again, this show is like, oh, check all this weirdness. This is pretty cool. Oh no, Muchan, it's going to get sad. And yeah, we're continuing. Muchan is unfortunately a bummer. An understandable bummer. And then we get back to Buchio, who's trying to transform. He's only gotten so good as getting his like paws to look like human hands. Uh, basically, Yuri, who we met before, the horse, is just like, it used to be that the transformation now is just kind of feel comfortable. It used to be for deception. They go to a supermarket, and Buccio mentions, completely accidentally mentions Yuri's family, who apparently Yuri does not get along with, and it's a whole scene. And later, Yuri apologizes to Buccio because Buccio didn't know. It's a sore spot, but it's not like he did it on purpose to make her mad. Again, I don't know if this scene is going to play into anything else, but it was an interesting little scene. There's an athletic meet, because we talked about that. Muchan is going to be there. Muchan comes in first in a race because Jiro helps her out. And then she mentions how she was happy that it was able to protect her, and he kind of like that. It's a weird little. His reaction is weird. And then the Kappa, her team, which also has Rio on it, wins their race, and that's great. And so we get to see these fun little kids having a good time. It's a cute little scene. But of course, we must end with sadness and melancholy. On her way home, Muchan observes the Void, which is this spot at the edge of like their area that apparently, we think anyway, that is where her father disappeared into. And that is where Beto, the monkey, tells her to be wary of it, but not afraid of it. And he's basically like, I was once a part of the Void. And he used to follow people around before he became the form he's in now in his community. And apparently the Void swallows people up, which makes sense because it's called the Void. And yeah, we got a lot of philosophy in this one, a lot of world building. Again, this series is a bit more melancholy than I thought it would be. It is a slice of life, but I would not describe it as fully chill. I would describe it as mostly chill. But Tonari no Youkai-san is pretty fucking rad. I'll say that. I'm pretty fucking into it. This Lego set is coming together real nice and fast, which is great. We love that. It's going to be a long build because we do have to build this thing, and then we'll have to disassemble and then build the next thing. And I'm going to have to rework how I have some of these pieces eventually, because I'm going to have a whole other bag of stuff. But some of the bag, too, will only be for this, and we won't need... Like, I don't think we're probably going to need the skates, the rubber. These are actually rubber on the skates. We probably won't need the skates for... Although, actually, we will need it. The wheels for the skates are actually used in the boombox pretty cleverly. So 2 of those will get used, and then... They're also obviously going to be the wheels of the skateboard. So not all the pieces will get used, especially the rubber, but some of it actually will get used, which is, I think, pretty cool. But we're starting with the roller skate because it's the most pieces and will be fun. And then I'll have to like organize. I think I'll have to like move my keyboard. My keyboard right now is like right over here. And I'll have to move it back so that I can put Lego there as well. And maybe I'll have to put Lego like here. Well, you can't see that, but basically I have my hand here. I have some room here, and I'll probably have to put Lego there as well. It'll be okay. It'll all work out. You don't have to worry about it. Let me tell you about Kaiju number 8. It's another shonen. This one looked pretty fucking rad. Again, I'm not super... I kind of bounced off this manga. I might give it a second chance because I really like this episode, but I figured I'm watching one shonen already. I might as well watch another one. Looking for some shows to pick up because apparently, you may wonder, Pat, how come you're not talking about episode 2 of Grandma and Grandpa Are Young Again? Well, I had expressed my displeasure with the fact that there is a young character who, because her grandpa is suddenly young, she is now dealing with her, like, objectively thinking that he's attractive, and how I was like, this is a weird thing. This is a weird turn. I was informed, yeah, that doesn't go away. That's like a big part of it. And I was like, oh no, I'm good then. I think I'm going to be good. That show was weird, but it wasn't cool enough for me to keep up with it if it had like a big thing that I was like, nah, I'm good. So I was like, let me try Kaiju number 8. I'm probably going to give episode 2 a try. I liked episode 1 a lot. Let me tell you about it while I am assembling Lego. You know what we're doing here. So, kaiju are there. Big monsters. You don't know what kaiju are? Big monsters. There are big monsters in Tokyo. Specifically, the wards of Yokohama have goddamn motherfucking kaiju. But there is a team, the Defense Corps, the 3rd Division Defense Corps is working hard, defeating the kaiju, beating the shit out of them, killing them, shooting stuff at them. And there are people that help guide folks away when there are kaiju attacks. And there's the 3rd Division is led by Mina. Mina is young and adventurous and smart and taking care of the business of leading her 3rd squad. It rules. Our main character is not part of that. Lashberg liked Kaiju 8 a lot. Nice. You like it a lot. Our main character is not part of that crew. Our main character, Kafka, is part of the cleanup crew. And apparently, we hear through voiceover, cleanup workers don't receive praise or any real acknowledgement, and which makes sense, right? Like, at this point, it's just like, oh yeah, well, when the monsters are defeated, then they just go away, right? Like, in the same way that sanitation workers aren't thought of in the same breath as firefighters. Like, okay, obviously a lot of danger in both, but like it is a different vibe, right? He's got to take samples, and then they have to fight some stuff. There is a rookie that picks up an organ and it bursts, and so he has to help that person recover. And they have to finish. They've got, of course, because they're in the cleanup crew, so that means that they have like contracts and they have like deadlines for cleanup, and they have to deal with a bunch of shenanigans and stuff, which is like totally understandable. That's all there. And Kafka has to perform intestine duty and is fucking not happy about that. Obviously not into that part of the job. And then there's a newscast that's talking about how good a job Mina did. And apparently Kafka and Mina knew each other. They grew up together. And at some point he tells her, that together they're going to defeat all the kaiju. And then he's feeling bad. He's thinking about his life and what he's doing. Next day, gets back to work. We get introduced to a new member named Reno. Reno is a new member. He wants to join the Defense Force. Of course he does. Why would he want to join? Why would he only want to join the cleanup crew? But yeah, he wants to join the Defense Force. And apparently they tell him like, oh, actually that, before he gave up on it, Kafka wanted to do the same thing. And there's a kind of a confrontation about that. And like, why did you do that? And why did you give up? And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to give up. And it's like, oh, okay, dude, why don't you fucking relax a little bit? Reno, why don't you fucking chill a little bit? They go and they do their work. And unfortunately, Kafka has to go and do intestine duty again. The leader of the group is like, if he had passed that test, he would have been a great member of the team, which is one of those things where you're like, yeah, I bet. Yes, if he had succeeded, he would have done well. He probably would have done well in the field. But apparently, there's new information, folks. Reno tells Kafka, hey, actually, they raised the Defense Force application age. You're not over the cutoff anymore. Because young people there hasn't been a rush of young people interested in doing the job. So they're broadening it. And so maybe he was going to give it a shot. Oh, I got to make sure I'm putting the right size of the right way these go. I have to find the other one. Here it is. I want to make sure I'm putting these on and not this one. You can see. Got to make sure we're building the boot, building the skate here. So you got to make sure it goes the right direction. And then, unfortunately, a Yoju shows up. So we got a small monster shows up and tries to eat Reno. Kafka, I should say, not Kafka. Kafka saves Reno. And then it's like, hey, you got to go. I need you to fulfill your dream. Basically, just like, get the fuck out of here and go. And then there's a chase, and this is a pretty long chase, I would say. And as he's running from this monster, pretty sure he's going to die. We get a flashback of I would say, very childish reason, but understandable reason why Mina and Kafka wanted to get into the murdering kaiju business. It's because their homes and schools got ruined, and her cat died in it, and he's like, well, my video game system got destroyed, and I didn't get to finish the video game that I was playing. It's very childish. Like, that's the reasons why. But whatever. That was the reasons. He gets overpowered. He is then Reno shows up to save him, which is great. And apparently Reno said, like, well, if I'm going to be a defense member, like, you don't run away. You don't give up if you're going to be on the defense force. And then some members, including somebody with a tiger, like some members show up. So the day is saved, everybody. Don't freak out. The day is saved. Members of the defense force show up, including Mina. And they go to a hospital. And Reno's like, hey, you look cool. Thank God. It's great. You should apply. And then everything's feeling great, except a kaiju shows up that is like a bug and flies into Kafka's mouth. And then he basically turns into a human-sized kaiju. But he's got his sense. He's got all senses. He's like, hey, I'm me. Don't worry about it. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not a mindless monster. But then an old man sees him. So they have to leave and flee the hospital. And then basically there's another flashback where it's just like, I think foreshadowing about, like, you got to tackle him by the legs, and her being scared and him saying, well, I'll always be there to support you, which obviously that didn't work out, but that was him saying at the time. And then the episode ends with Mina planning to investigate the kaiju that was spotted at the hospital. So the plot thickens, and you can imagine where things might go, as if perhaps you watched the opening and closing themes. Like, you may have an idea of where this series goes. This is well produced. I think the animation quality is strong. I am interested in finding out more about it. Again, I kind of bounced off the manga really early. I'm looking forward to checking this out because, like I said, it was pretty solid. So that is the manga that I have been reading, one of the many mangas I've been reading, and of course, the anime that I have been watching. And we have a little bit of time left in the stream, and I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you reading? What's got, like, are you playing any video games? What did you do on the weekend? If there's something from the weekend that you want to talk to me about, like, I want to hear from you, what you're up to, what you're into. I have been prepping because tomorrow I will be doing another WWE 2K24 stream. It will be CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K24. And I can tell you for a fact, friends, that I have fiddled with the AI, and I think we can actually do a ladder match tomorrow, and it won't be busted. I mean, it'll be busted, but they'll actually try to climb the ladder. I have run 2 ladder simulations, two matches with ladders, where they have multiple wrestlers have scaled the ladder, and both times that I've run it, they've actually gotten the title or the briefcase. Of course, these are non-canon dark matches, so they won't count for anything. But I did try them, and I can tell you that they worked. So the hope is that they'll be ready for tomorrow. And of course, when you're watching the stream, if you make a donation of $10 or more, you can pick some wrestlers, either some CPUs or wrestlers that are already in the game that I will be using, or a match type, or both, because you might not remember this, but I'm raising a little money because, you know, dental stuff and all that stuff. And I'll talk more about it on the actual stream. But that is, that's kind of what I've been working on. Playing Hearthstone, I got a new deck that is terrible that I really like. I unlocked a Platinum card. Platinum are like just very expensive if you want to buy them, but there's a chance they are legendary cards that just have extra art to them, and they look rad as hell. And I was like, well, if I got a Platinum legendary, then I should probably use that, like, make a deck around that card. So I made a deck that is, there's no good reason for me to play the deck. It's not good, but it's fun. So I made that, and I was very pleased with that deck. So I did that. And I played a little Helldivers yesterday. I watched a bunch of wrestling yesterday, got caught up on a few things, and then also watched Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling with some friends. Always a good time to watch some Joshi with people. So that was neat. I had a good time doing that. Lasper says, spent a good bit of today watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast because today is the 30th anniversary and I am old. Yes, I too am old. And I have watched some Space Ghost Coast to Coast recently. Actually, even before I watched that, not because of the 30th anniversary, I watched the Brack Show a bunch pretty recently, because I thought that would be fun. That would be a fun use of my time, and it is, because the Brack Show is good. It's pretty damn good. So I watched some of the Brack Show, and then I've been watching a little Coast to Coast here and there. Good time for that. And then Lord Crashington says, I was hoping to have my analog pocket today since FedEx tracking said it would be here, but it hasn't moved since Saturday night. And the traffic update just says they'll figure out the arrival date when it starts moving again. Now I'm just annoyed at the delay. Yes. The package that arrived today, my Maxter Gundam that arrived today, they said it. There was a little time where FedEx thought it was going to arrive on Saturday, but it was not going to arrive on Saturday, and I knew it wasn't going to arrive on Saturday, but they said, oh, it's coming early. We said Monday, but actually, hey, we're wrong. It's not Monday. It's Saturday. Turns out, weirdly enough, everybody, they were wrong about that. And I was right. And it arrived today. And that's fine. I think we're going to stop there on the Lego building here. We have plenty left to build. We got to get into bag 2. I will probably null bag 2 before Thursday and kind of condense everything, make it easier for me to find stuff. But I'll probably do bag 2 even before we've completed bag 1, just to keep, speed up the process. But yeah, I'll probably do that on my own time. We have gotten, we got the start here of some Lego. We're getting a roller skate together. I'm not quite sure what all these parts do, but we'll figure that out. I believe this is part of the skate, I imagine. But we'll figure all this, or more of the shoe. I don't know what this is, but we'll find out on Thursday. But reminder, my next stream is tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I would love for you to come and hang out there. Again, I'll be running CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K24. We have a variety of matches. I've got some matches for the title, both main titles. We're going to figure out some Money in the Bank winners because the ladder matches seem to be working. I got a bunch of new CPUs. I will tell you, we got an Orange Cassidy that looks fucking fantastic in there. And I got two more characters from the world of Dragon Ball that both look pretty rad. And we're not done yet here because we have to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to find somebody doing cool stuff and go and spend a little time with them because the party don't stop. But I don't know who we're going to go raid, so I'm going to figure that out right now. I'm going to see how long some of these people have been streaming because I want to go and hang out with them. Oh, nope, that person has been going for a very long time. That person hasn't been going that long, so maybe we'll raid them. Oh, we never raid this person, so do we want to go raid them? How long have they been going? Oh, no, that's also a very long stream. We're not going to do that. All right, we are going to go raid Mary Kish. Mary Kish is streaming. I forgot it was Monday for a second, everybody. What am I even doing? Of course we're going to go raid Mary Kish because it's Merry Monday. I forgot what day it was for a second, and I almost didn't raid Mary Kish because we always raid Mary unless she's not streaming that night. So feel free to come along on this raid. I hope you had a good time tonight. We always raid on a Monday. Yeah, well, we always end with a raid. Come along. Mary's awesome. We're going to have a good time over there. Great community. Cool person. Playing Children of the Sun, which looks fucking rad. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope to see you again this week. And have a good night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.